There is no such thing as a comfort zone. There is no such thing as stagnation. It's either you're moving forward, progression, or you're moving backwards, regression. For instance, what happens to a car when it's just parked outside for days, weeks, months on end? It starts to deteriorate. What happens to a house when the windows are closed, the doors are shut, the curtains are shut? It starts to gather dust and molds and spider cobs. It starts to deteriorate. Even if you put food in the fridge, the right temperature, it's in a Ziploc bag, it's sealed shut, it will be deteriorating. Eventually, it will go bad. Listen, life does not permit a vacuum. Life does not permit stagnation. If you don't have goals that you're pursuing, if you don't have a vision that you're running after, you are in a dead zone. You have no choice. There is no such thing as stagnation in a comfort zone. Oh, I'm not doing anything right now. I'm just chilling. Oh, I'm not doing anything right now. I just want to be in my safe space, in my comfort zone. Oh, I'm not pursuing anything. Oh, I'm not learning anything. Without a vision, you will perish. The Bible says, where there is no vision, the people perish. The people don't stay in a comfort zone. The people are not stagnant. The people are perishing. Listen, you are either in a death zone or in a growth zone. There is no such thing as a comfort zone. Well, now that we've driven that point home, you may be saying, okay, Samantha, how do I move? The Bible says, be ye transformed by the renewal of your mind. Catch this. You are where you are because of the decisions you made. Life didn't happen. You decided to be there. In last week's video that I will link here, we spoke about free will and the power that you have over your life. Could you be where you are because of the decisions that you made? And how do you come to those decisions? Decisions are a function of values and beliefs. We'll break it down in another video. Just follow. Stay with me. The decisions that you made to be where you are right now, believe it or not, are a function of values and beliefs. How do you come to those values and beliefs? A person's identity is made up of values and beliefs. Now, how do values and beliefs come about? Every human being goes through 4 stages. The first stage is unconscious incompetence. When you're a baby or when you're a kid, you don't know that you can't drive a car. You don't know that you can't walk. You don't know that you can't cook. It's unconscious incompetence. You don't know you are unable to. Then you get to a stage where you see other kids running. You see your parents running. You see your guardians walking and running. And you say, I want to do that. I can't do that. That's a stage that's called conscious incompetence. Now, the third stage is where you want to address that incompetence, but you do it consciously. Like you learn how to drive. You go for driving lessons. You learn how to walk. You repeatedly do any activity that you want to learn until you gain competence, until you're able to do that. But this phase requires active participation. You've got to think, okay, what do I do? I switch on the ignition, right? What do I do? I remove the handbrake. What do I do? Okay, I press on the gas pedal. Okay, I have to balance with the clutch. Whichever model of car you are driving, it has to be active participation, where you have to think, okay, how do I do this? And you are taught until you reach the stage of conscious competence. Then this is where the fun begins. Whenever you do anything repeatedly, you provide an opportunity for that activity to sink into your subconscious mind. Watch this. Do you think when you want to blink? Do you say, okay, this is how you blink. I have to do this, and I have to close my eyes, and I have to open again? No, it just happens. Why? Because it's now in the subconscious mind, where you do things without thinking. So if you want to build new values, if you want to build a new belief system, if you want to learn a skill, whatever it is, if you do it repeatedly, if you want to change your behavior, if you do it repeatedly with conscious effort, it then gets to a stage where it sinks into your subconscious mind, where you can now drive whilst on the phone, or whilst thinking about something, or whilst chatting with your friend who's seated right next to you. You're not thinking, okay, I have to lift my foot from the brake pedal. Okay, I have to do this. No, it's now gotten to a point where it's now in your subconscious mind. And we call that stage unconscious competence. So the word I can't should not be in your vocabulary. Because if you are willing to, you can learn it. Quit saying, I'd rather stay in my comfort zone. Because there's no comfort zone. It's either you're in a death zone or you're in a growth zone. Now that we've established that values and beliefs are learned, are your values and beliefs limiting you? Are your existing values and beliefs limiting you from moving forward, from pursuing your goals, from developing yourself? Since they are learned, they can be unlearned and relearned. You can renew your mind. How can you renew your mind? I'll just talk about one thing today, of the many things that you can do. Affirmations. These are just positive statements that you repeatedly speak out loud. Why out loud? Because when you're just thinking a thought, there are many voices in your mind that can shudder that thought. But when you say something out loud, you silence even the voices that will be speaking in your mind. That's why the Bible says, let the weak say, I am strong. Quit saying, I'd rather stay in my comfort zone. Because there's no comfort zone. It's either you're in a death zone or you're in a growth zone. Let the poor say, I am rich. You have to vocalize it. You have to speak it so that your ears hear it and you silence every other thought. But you have to do that repeatedly. Make a list of positive statements that you can speak to yourself out loud. That's the key. And take note, repetition is the backbone of learning. Repetition, repetition. Continue speaking it. Continue saying it until you believe it, until it's in your subconscious mind. And when you want to make a decision, you don't let fear, anxiety, worry stop you. But you are as courageous. The Bible says the righteous are as bold as a lion. How do you get to that stage? When you keep saying it and it sinks into your subconscious mind. And when you need to make a decision about pursuing any activity, any skill, any goal, when you make that decision, you are not thinking actively. It's from your subconscious mind. Now you're probably saying, now Sam, do I just have to speak and speak until it happens? No. Affirmations work with action. The Bible says, but without faith, it is impossible to please God, and faith without action is dead. You need action. What are you vocalizing? What are you saying? What can you begin to do actively in your conscious competence until it sinks into your subconscious mind to influence your decisions, your values, your beliefs? What can you do? You need to take action. Write down the strategies, the goals that you want to pursue for this quarter or the next quarter. Write down the action steps that you need to do. Make sure you do it consistently, repeatedly, until you achieve unconscious competence. Our goal, our focus is to build new behaviors, is to build new values, is to build new beliefs that will influence our decisions. Remember, life is not a gift. Life is a loan. You are going to be answerable one day for how you spent the time that was allocated to you. You're going to stand before our Maker and relate how you used His time that He afforded you on this earth. Some people live 30 years, they grow. Some people live 1 year 30 times. they repeatedly maintain their values and beliefs that are limiting and think that they are safe in their comfort zones, when we know that there's no such thing as a comfort zone, there's no such thing as stagnation. It's either you are in a death zone or in a growth zone. You make the choice. Until the next video, remain saved and gold.